410 Goodfella. I bought a movie called Screams of the Winter Night, but I haven't watched it. Have you seen it? If any good? I can't find. I've not seen it, but I know it's like a. Isn't it a Bigfoot type deal? The man to talk to about that movie is Extra the Mutilator. He's king shit when it comes to stuff like that. Could you recommend 5 hidden gem type slashers? Blood Frenzy is pretty decent. I thought 555 is pretty cool, but that's pretty wide. Everyone knows those movies right now, probably. 5 hidden gem slasher movies. Slasher. Slaughter High. I don't know if it's hidden gem. I'm just naming some ones that don't get talked about. Psychos in Love is kind of like a slasher movie, and it's fucking amazing. Let's see. I'm looking around my room. I'm cheating a little bit. Sleepaway Camp 2. That's fun. What do you... Alright, I'm not Stu81. What do you like more, Friday the 13th or The Burning? The Burning. Burnt Pop. Which movie got you into more extreme side of horror? That'd be Cannibal Holocaust, right there. Everyone says, right when you see that, it's downhill. What's your favorite soundtrack? So many, but I'd probably have to go with one of the Italian soundtracks, or maybe Dawn or Day of the Dead. But, something like House on the Edge of the Park is a great soundtrack. Ritz Ortolani kills it. Cannibal Holocaust, he does great in those. And, he's really amazing. Goblin is also amazing. Anything with Goblin. Dawn of the Dead, I like that. But there's so many. I also like soundtracks like... I'm trying to think of soundtracks. I like the Fright Night 2 soundtrack, which is sickening, but I do. It's hard to pick just one. What's your favorite straight-up comedy flick? Dirty Work, Norm Macdonald. Love it. Kurosawa was House Band. What's your favorite crime movie? Probably Reservoir Dogs or Goodfellas. Or Taxi Driver. T Rockstar 5, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage? I haven't drank in years, man. I can't handle my alcohol. I get a little sloppy, get a little angry. You know what I mean? But my favorite alcoholic beverage back in the day, I like Sparks, I like Bud Light, just the same old shit. Vodka at one point was my thing. Have you ever, Movie Man Reviews 1, have you ever had a pet lizard of any type? I'm getting a bearded dragon, they're great. Yeah, I had those little green I know things, a whole bunch of them, and I had some geckos, little geckos. They were pretty cool. Used to take them out. One of the geckos actually escaped once, was running around the house for months. Eat Guts 666. Wildwood, isn't that the name where all the Cropsy shit went down? Oh wait, it's new videos. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Wildwood, I can't remember. That was in some place in New Jersey, I believe. Anyways, what's your favorite vampire movie? Stealth Call. I really like Lost Boys. I can't help it. I know. It just stems from my childhood. Also really like Fright Night 1 and 2. Can't think of any other vampire movies that just popped to my head. As well, do you enjoy films by John Cassavetes? I've actually never watched a film by John Cassavetes. I do love him in Dirty Dozen. Victor Franco, he's amazing in that movie. He's one of my favorite characters, and he's a great actor. But I never really saw his movies. C325, what films are you looking forward to? I want to see that Dale and Tucker versus Evil. That looks fun. I want to see House on the Edge of the Park 2. I want to see Human Centipede 2. I want to see lots of movies, I guess. You ever walked out of a movie? I've never walked out of the theater of a movie. But I did go take a piss during Alien vs. Predator, because that's the only time I ever went up and had to take a pee during a movie, and I couldn't hold it, and I didn't care because it sucked. What movie really scares you? Scares me now. Like I said, I kind of answered that already. Some movies I might be kind of creeped out at night. Favorite Clint Eastwood movie? That's rough. Gran Torino was really good, and that was one of his newer ones. But, Good, Bad, and Ugly is a classic. Clint Eastwood's awesome. It's hard to pick. The Dirty Harry movies are good. Do you have any magazine subscriptions? No, I do not. Peekanobo. Alright. Has horror been replaced by disturbing movies, like more shock and taboo? Oh, I would say no. I think this is a phase, and I don't mind the phase. I think it's cool. I think that it will eventually pass. Do you think that horror fans have to listen to punk, death metal, trash metal, or metal music in general? It seems to be a standard in some way. I don't think they do. I think there's two types of horror fans. I think there's some horror fans that started off huge metal fans and became horror fans, and I think there's some horror fans that became metal fans. I like all types of music. I always was a horror fan first and a music fan later, a movie fan first. So I've always liked horror movies first. Music never got me to horror movies. Horror movies got me to listen to some of that music every once in a while. Have you watched a movie that you actually had to press pause on to take a break? It was so disturbing or sickening. When I was a kid, I stopped Scrapbook. It was just kind of crazy. First like 10 minutes, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be rougher than I thought. If you read comics, what genre do you prefer? I used to read, I'll read any comics. I mean, I don't go out of my way to get them, but if they're here or somebody gives them to me or I get them somehow, I'll probably read them. I used to like Marvel Comics when I was a kid. Ever-loving Blue-Eyed Thing's always been my favorite. Lately, he's like last 5-10 years he's been my favorite. But I also read that, what was that, Black Gas, and I also read another one, Crossed. Those are both really good. The most expensive movie you bought, I don't know, I paid like $80, probably Necromantic 2. And here we go. From the Horror File 666, favorite trauma films, Class of Nukem High, Toxic Avenger, Poultrygeist, The Usual Suspects, Redneck Zombies, Combat Shock, all the good ones, Terra Firma. When did you become serious about collecting movies? I used to just tape them when I was real little. Rent a whole bunch and tape them from old video stores and have like 3 or 4 on a tape. My grandpa used to do it. And then eventually I started buying the VHS, and then I got into probably about like, I'm trying to think how old I am. I don't know, probably 15 years ago when I was about 10. No, 10 maybe. Yeah, 15. When I was about 10 years old, I got pretty serious. What did you become serious about? Oh, do you play any instruments? Nope. Favorite director and why? There's a lot of great directors out there. It's hard to pick one, but it's got to be Romero because Night, Dawn, and Day are my 3 favorite movies. Which do you prefer, 70s exploitation or 80s slashers? Rough to pick. There's something special about an 80s slasher movie because you just can keep watching and you just fun watching people get picked off. But 70s exploitation are usually better movies, but 80s slashers are funner or more fun. I'm sorry, but you get it's hard to choose. I guess the mood. Comes down to the mood for me. Favorite Turkish remake? You know, I don't think I've ever put myself through that type of hell to watch like Turkish E.T. or those Turkish Star Wars movies or anything like that. I kind of, avoided them like AIDS. But sometimes AIDS gets you anyways. England is God. If you were a necrophiliac, which dead celebrity would you screw? Who says if? But I don't know. Whichever one was easiest to get to. Dark AK, what's your top favorite animated movie? Favorite animated movie? You know, that's going to be rough just to pick off the top of my head. Heavy Metal's pretty cool. That's probably not my favorite. Rock and Roll's cool. Favorite animated movie? Robin Hood was my favorite Disney movie. It was animated. That's rough. That's hard. I used to like Dumbo as a kid. Oh, man. I can't pick one. Let's just go with Rock and Roll. Or Heavy Metal. Either or. Stevie Zombie 2010. What's your favorite European horror films? That's hard to pick. There's Cannibal Holocaust, House on the Edge of the Park, Tenebra, Phenomenon, City of the Living Dead, Zombie, Beyond. It's probably Zombie or Cannibal Holocaust it comes down to. Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Apocalypse. Love all those. Have you ever read the book Cold Heart Candy by Clive Barker, S. Cantu, 1408? No, I have not. I have read a few Clive Barker novellas and short stories. SPR 12CR. What was the first horror film you got on DVD and VHS? First one I got on VHS is probably very impossible to remember, but I did have an old VHS copy of Beetlejuice and Batman for some reason. They were just old. We had them at my house, and I just kind of took them. They were when I was real little. I used to watch them all the time. My parents didn't really buy movies because we always got them taped from my grandpa. But somehow we had Batman and Beetlejuice. Those are the first 2 VHSs I remember. So I guess Beetlejuice is kind of like a horror movie. And first horror film I got on DVD was, I believe, Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. Turdface77. Wait a minute. Oh, he was laughing at Prozac dose. When having sex, did you ever have to hold a fart in when you were climaxing? Probably. What is your favorite guilty pleasure candy? I love gummy bears. Anything gummy. I've eaten like 5 pounds of that gummy shit. Been sick for like a couple days, but it's so worth it. Pull the Chris Lieben up in that bitch. A Cooper 37. Sorry for all the questions. Do you collect steelbooks? I don't really go out of my way to collect steelbooks. I have a few. I have The Incredible Melting Man from Germany. I have the RoboCop. Just a couple that I thought they were cool, so I got them. What is your most prized possession out of your collection? I don't know. It's hard to pick a prized possession because some of the movies that are worth the most you don't really care as much about. Like, Dawn of the Dead's my favorite movie, but it's not my most prized collection, even though it's a cool, awesome set. It's just not really worth anything. So it's like, if it got destroyed, I'd be like, shit, I gotta buy a new one. But I guess Necromantic 2 got destroyed. I'd be like, man, I don't want to fork over another, like, $60 for that. So I kind of take care of that. And, you know, I have a lot of movies like that. Fright Night 2, obviously. I know I probably wouldn't rebuy them if something happened to them. I love Fright Night 2, but it's just the point is, it's like sometimes you don't want to rebuy them. I don't really have one prized possession, I guess, as a whole. I like it. Have you ever thought about directing, writing, acting, or have anything to do with making a movie in the future? Always, all the time, anything. All of them I've been interested in. As a kid, I wanted to be an actor, and then a couple years later, I wanted to be a director. I was young. I wanted to be an actor about 4, and then about 7, I realized I wanted to direct them. I used to write stuff, short stories and everything like that, and you know, make a couple short videos. We tried a couple times, but we lose interest, I guess, or people just lose interest, so it gets a little hard. J Tunes, hey man, couple questions here. What is your favorite DVD company? I really like Synapse, or yeah, that's probably my favorite. I pretty much try to get everything they do. I like Code Red, even though they release some shit and they take forever to release some of their stuff. Blue Underground is always top notch. Used Anchor Bay used to be awesome. Severin's great. There's a lot of good companies out there. If you had to give a ballpark estimate overall dollar worth of your DVD collection, what would it be? I'm just going to say about 4,000 at $10 a piece, 40 grand. Some are worth nothing, some are worth a lot more. Some are worth $100, some are probably worth $1. So I'd say somewhere there. What's the worst purchase you've made? I remember I rebought a movie for no reason when I was like 17, drunk in Myers. I was like, I have this movie, it was a different case. I want to buy this just because I just want to put it at the register. I'm like, good movie. That's probably a pretty shitty purchase on my part. And once I bought Night Patrol again on VHS for no reason. I don't know why, I never watched it. Miss Movie Reviewer, why do you keep your hair so long and have you ever straightened it? P.S. I love your hair, huh? I keep it long, I guess, because I'm attached to it now. It's been like that forever, so it's like I'm just used to it. I have straightened it, yeah, many of times. 8. The Chosen One. If you were given an unlimited amount of money and any one director plus any 3 actors and you could film on any location, make your dream horror film, what is your first thoughts that come to mind? What would you want to do? Any actors. I'd probably want to give actors I really like that never get awesome. I like dream horror movie. Which director would I want to do? Who's still good now? You know, I'd try to give Romero another shot. You know, I would just say no CGI. No CGI at all. And I would hire the music composer too. And then I think we'd be good. And I'd have him do the original Day of the Dead script. And I would definitely, who do I want? I want John Goodman to play Steel. I want him in there. And we laughed about this, my friend, I don't remember who said this, but I'm going to have to give Jason Alexander as Rickles. I know I have to go back 10 freaking years for that. And Bruce Willis, just for the hell of it. Throw him in there. Z